Welcome to Retail Retold, the stories behind how that store landed in your neighborhood. I'm Chris Ressa, in conversation with the people and stories shaping retail and real estate. Brought to you by DLC. Welcome to Retail Retold, everyone. Today I am joined by Natalie Chambers. Natalie is the Executive Creative Director at the Dealy Group. I'm excited for her to be here. Welcome to the show, Natalie.
Thank you, Chris. Thanks for having me.
Well, today we're talking about consumer behavior.
Yes.
Well, let's dive in. Tell me on a high level, why does a marketing firm and Natalie focus on consumer behavior, and what does the Dealy Group do?
Okay. Well, first of all, to start, the Dealy Group is a full service advertising agency and content studio located in Dallas, Texas. We focus on retail real estate marketing. We have over 80 accounts that we service in social media monthly, and we create over 3,000 pieces of content monthly. In addition to doing high-level branding, corporate branding, and all kinds of different things for different retail real estate clients. So that's what the Dealy Group does on a day-to-day basis.
Okay. What does Natalie do?
Natalie, I have been in marketing for over 20 years. I started in the consumer side in CPG, consumer packaged goods. So, packaged goods on the shelf, marketing those. So I did a lot of work for like Clorox, big brands like that. So it was actually a very natural thing for me to go into retail real estate marketing. And I joke that I've touched every bit of retail marketing from the shelf to the buildings that the shelves of, live in. So I know every aspect of the business at this point. And it's my job as executive creative director to make sure that everything going out the door is up to the Dealy Group standards in terms of design, but also in terms of messaging, making sure that it's going to resonate with consumers.
Got it. And so the Dealy Group has a little bit of an interesting view on shopping centers, and you don't call them points on a map. What Talk to me about how you guys view points on a map.
Yeah, so we like to say that we take these points on a map and turn them into places where people feel like they belong. We are very invested in making sure that our consumers feel a sense of belonging when they visit a center, that they're a part of a group. So that's very important to us. And if you're going to do that, you have to create this emotional connection between the person and the place. And in order to do that, you have to understand what that person's feeling, what their motives are, why they do what they do on a daily basis. So that's why we spend so much time studying consumer behavior and focusing on insights regarding that.
Got it.
Yeah.
Well, what's going on in consumer behavior? How is the consumer behaving today?
Oh
What
my
are
God.
some
They're
what are some
always up to
things
something wacky, let me tell you.
what when you think about consumer behavior today, what's top of mind for you?
Top of mind for me is what is top of mind for everyone right now, which is AI. And I think that actually the adoption of AI is leading to some really interesting consumer behaviors. It's actually what we've seen is driving people to try to reconnect with their humanness. So I think that this like push to have AI do all of these fancy things and give us answers to all of these problems is actually making us also question what makes us human and what our free will means and all of those sorts of things. And it shows up in really interesting ways in consumer behavior. One trend that we've seen recently is what we're calling ancient wellness. And so people are actually, we've seen a trend towards nostalgia in the past, but this is pushing it even further. They're like looking way back to like a time pre-civilization. So we're seeing people embrace a lot of things that are kind of hippy dippy in nature, but it seems to be coming like quite prevalent. So if you think about things like cold plunges, sound bathing, even Costco is carrying, I don't know if you've seen this, but they're selling like the barrel saunas and like the portable cold plunge pools and aura rings, for instance. So we're seeing consumers like seeking out these products that are kind of tapping into these ancient wellness rituals. And then in terms of content that we're putting out there, people are really interested in seasonality, like curating their purchases according to, like spring renewal or winter hibernation. We've even seen like a resurgence of like people doing like moon related things like moon hikes and, like, looking for moon calendars and things like that. So it's just this kind of weird thing where it's like if we're going to be forced into the future, we also are trying to cling to something that is like our human instinct, if you will.
I have seen on my social media, I don't know if you've seen, there's this like 65 or 70-year-old, just totally infit human, saying that he does Tai Chi 10 minutes a day, and it's this ancient Tai Chi, and if you do that at 65, you're gonna be ripped. And I am fascinated by this video. I'm like, how come Tai Chi keeps coming up on
Yeah.
my social media platforms? But this makes sense now.
Yeah.
This ancient wellness stuff. So
I mean, there's salt rooms that you can go sit in where the walls and the floors and everything is like some like rejuvenating Himalayan salt. I mean, people are really getting into this. Next, it's crystals, I think.
are you getting into ancient wellness?
Well, you know what? Since moving to Sweden, I actually moved to Sweden 5 years ago, and they are very into nature. So I definitely have like gotten more in touch with the rhythms of the seasons because just the nature of, like it being dark, super dark outside in the wintertime and super bright in the summer. So I guess
Wow.
that's my level of getting in touch with ancient wellness.
Where do you live in Sweden?
I live in the south of Sweden in a very, very small town on the sea. So
Wow.
yeah, but, I
Is
always
the
joke
water ever warm enough that you can go in
like 2 days out of the year.
2 days out of the year?
Yeah,
Okay.
so but, yeah,
What's the temperature right now in Sweden?
it's probably like 60 degrees.
All right. That's pretty
Yeah, it's
nice.
not bad. We're gonna enjoy, like, a really kind of nice fall, and then we'll plunge into darkness and snow.
How dark is it in winter? Like, how long is it dark?
Oh, it gets dark around 3:30, and then the sun comes up around 9.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, it's pretty brutal. Speaking of, like, ancient wellness, I've started light therapy in the mornings to kind of, like, get my circadian rhythm, like, under control when it's that dark outside. So,
Wow.
yeah,
And what's it like in the summer?
beautiful, magical, amazing, stays light until 11:30, 12 at night. People are just, like, on this dopamine high of sunlight.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long is the darkness?
I mean, you really have to endure it, like, 2.5, 3 months, and then it gets better.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Interesting.
did you see me take a deep sigh just thinking about it?
I did. So what's it
Yeah.
like, December, January, February?
November, December, January.
I see.
Yeah. That's really bad. November is the worst.
Fascinating. Okay.
Yep.
Back to consumer behavior and less about the darkness in Sweden. Um, so ancient rituals or ancient
Yeah.
wellness, that's interesting.
So
What else is going on with consumer behavior?
yeah, I think another really interesting thing that we're seeing is plural versal design. And I know that sounds like a freaking mouthful, but the way I look at it is if there's like one universal design, which is kind of like, or storyline, the one that we all know, plural versal design is like the embracing of lots of different points of views. And that's just how I kind of internalize that. And a very good example of this is something I just saw yesterday is that do you know about K-pop demon hunters? Are you
Very
familiar?
well. I'm very
Okay.
familiar, actually.
Do you have someone in the 6 to 9-year-old set in your home?
I do. I've seen that about 10 times, K-pop Demon Hunters.
Me too, and I
Yeah.
actually have memorized all the lyrics to the song because my kids forced me to listen to it in the car.
Yeah, I'm super
I
familiar. I can't
it is
believe I
the
am, but I am.
I know, and I'm glad because it's gonna help this conversation. It is the number 1 downloaded, streamed item on Netflix ever, ever. And I am really chalking this up to the pluralversal trend in consumer consumption. People love alternate storylines. They love like something new that they've never experienced before. And like K-pop, Korean culture is like something that is like relatively new to America. And I mean, the kids, especially the younger generations, are eating it up. Another really good
I'm
example of
gonna challenge you there.
oh, okay.
I'm I'm gonna challenge you there. So
Bring it.
is that really why? Because my kids, they got into K-pop
Better?
Demon Hunters because everyone in town was watching it, and so they were
Yeah.
like, "We gotta watch it,"
Yeah.
and it's, you know, heroism with cool songs. That's
Yeah.
like a storyline that's played out. I don't care what culture you are. And I don't think that's part to me. I'm not sure that's
Uh-huh.
so part of the plural storyline
Versatile,
universe and
yeah.
more just like it's a show that landed because we have what I can't think of the last show that had awesome catchy songs
Uh-huh.
and you know uh and that had these heroics as they do. I'm
Yeah.
I'm not I feel like it's a stretch.
Okay, well, what about have you eaten a Korean corn dog?
I have not, thank God.
Okay. Well, I was down in Austin last time I was home. That was this summer, and our friends took us to a Korean corn dog place, like in just a regular shopping mall that was super popular. And they have all these like YouTube videos of the Korean corn dogs that are loaded with all of the weird condiments and stuff like that. And I feel like that's pluriversal design. How would we ever even discover like Korean corn dogs covered in sweet potato fries and with like garlic chili sauce drizzled just so over it? Like, I think it's like a fun new like design storyline that everyone is kind of glomming onto.
So, by the way,
Yeah.
and they're gonna edit this part out,
Yeah.
but if you and I agree on everything, it's not good TV, so it's
No,
and I'm not
I
sure.
totally, yeah. I got it.
So, I I would say this, like,
Yeah.
how is that different to, like, the '90s when
Yeah.
sushi became popular in America, and now there's a sushi joint everywhere?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think that I think that the internet and social media in general has probably amplified though the adoption of these different storylines. And I let me give you a couple more examples and see if these bring it to life anymore. And you can still be like, no, I don't think so. And I'm totally I would like you to debunk one of my insights. Because it makes me better at selling it. But okay, so another one we talked a lot about internally is baseball lifestyle 101. Do you know about this?
I may.
Okay, it's this clothing brand. It's not little. It's this phenomenon of among young boys to love this fashion brand that's all like baseball related, but they release these different iterations of the fashion just like any other like, seasonal thing, and they do things like the donut collection. And you see these 9-year-old boys running around with pink Crocs on with like, donut sprinkles on them, and then also like donut jerseys that are bright pink and have sprinkles all over them. So it's like this willingness of young boys to totally adopt this different way of dressing that doesn't really equate with baseball. It's a whole different storyline when it comes to like a sport driven culture. So and that's kind of what we mean is like this kind of fluidity, if you will, of the design and storytelling storyline in products and in experiences.
I also may not know what you're talking about because I have not heard of that one.
Of baseball lifestyle 101.
Correct.
Okay. Well, it's happening in Dallas a lot. And then apparently and we had another client that was up in like in the Midwest and it was happening. So maybe it's not on in New York yet, but
Well,
um
if that is happening, I would put that more into the plural versal
Very cool.
storylines, for sure.
Yeah.
If that's a trend for sure.
Yeah.
But more so than me than Korean corn dogs, and
K-pop demon hunters.
I just think they nailed a good show. That's
Yeah.
what I
I
think.
mean, yeah. Have you heard that those Korean performers go to basically like boot camp and it's 14, 18-hour days of them like learning how to rap and dance and do all these things and like only the strongest survive and become famous. It's
I
intense.
didn't.
It's like a whole thing.
I did not. I
Yeah.
know there was my daughter had friends over,
Yes.
and the dance party was only K-pop Demon Hunters playing, and everyone knew every word. I do know that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what it's like in my house too. Another really interesting one we talked about is the success of Beyonce's Cowboy Carter. Like, she totally broke the mold, like, with the whole, like, cowboy-themed album that it seemingly came out of left field. And that's kind of like a different storyline for Beyonce, if you will. So just, kind of like this rise of acceptance and desire for these different kinds of storylines and experiences. And when
So what that's all interesting.
Mhm,
It still feels to me like the traditional storylines
mhm,
are winning most. By
yeah,
example, here's what I mean, right? What's the biggest storyline right now? Mega pop star engaged to famous football player.
yeah,
That's as old as time. That's not
yep,
a new storyline. That's as old as time. That's the biggest. They broke the internet.
yeah,
That's the biggest storyline. So what
yeah.
would you say if I said I think traditional storylines are still winning?
I mean, honestly, can you really beat, like, the princess romantic storyline in love that has been around since the ancient Greeks
Nope.
when, a face launched 1,000 ships? Like, there will be some things in human culture that are just so universal that everyone will love them, and it's impossible to ignore. I agree.
Okay.
But I think that there is an opportunity, especially among retail, maybe like in terms of, leasing opportunities or things like that to open up to kind of the stranger tenant or the different tenant that's offering a different storyline. Because I think that people, like the Korean corn dog, will come for the experience, you know? I think it may not be every person, because you didn't seem to be, like, too into Korean corn dogs, but heck, I wouldn't had a Korean corn dog, so, yeah, I think that, yeah, you can't win them all, but there's definitely a desire for, like, unique experiences, ideas, and stories.
For sure. So let's all right, that was 2. Do you have a third insight? Let's go to 3. People love things in threes.
Yeah, let me think of what my third one, the best one, is going to be. How about this? I would love to get your take on this. So, the internet has given us the opportunity to, like, get into these really niche kind of groups, right? We call them social silos. So you can almost find your group anywhere when it comes to the internet. If you're into, I don't know, like archery, during the winter time. You can find your group. Like, I mean, I'm just saying it's very specialized. And I think that there's a reason for this, and it's because of that need to belong. Like human beings at the beginning of time, they only lived in groups of like 150 people. We are wired to find our people and stick with them, like find a place to fit and be in a group. And I think that this and the social silos has really started to increase the desire for things like loyalty clubs, and exclusive content and things that feel a little gate kept because people feel like they're getting something really good and they're also being included in something that feels curated and special for them.
I can get down with that.
Yeah.
I can get
I
down with that.
mean, just like, clubs in general, that are membership clubs have seen like a 60% increase in the past 3 years, so people are really interested in being a part of groups. And we've talked about this on, like, a retail level. You know, in the past, we've always approached retail and the retail programming like we had to do a one size fits all. Like, heaven forbid we leave anyone out, especially when it comes to programming at centers. But now we're wondering, like, is it so bad if we have ticketed events that people can participate in? Or if we have very specialized, like, pop-ups that only a certain few will be interested in, then it kind of generates this curiosity and this sense of belonging because, you know, that particular shopping center understands you or gets you or has these different things for different people. So we've talked a lot about that too.
All right. So we've got the uh, ancient wellness, we've got the pluralversal universe, and we've got this, you know, uh, social silos to for a sense of belonging.
Yeah.
Now bring it to a real estate level. What are you guys doing with those insights that actually matter to the real estate?
Yeah, well, I mean, on a marketing side, one of the what I just mentioned in terms of programming, is something that we really are always trying to, you know, our job is to drive traffic to the center. We need to get people through the door, and a lot of times that's done through programming, through incentives, through special advantages that we push out digitally. So I feel like that whole loyalty thing that there's ways on property to create a feeling of loyalty, even if it's like a special parking spot that can be awarded to like one person every month or something like that, that creates this sense of belonging and a loyalty to that place on the map. So I think that we talk about a lot of way of like how can we create this sense of belonging at the center level and give people the opportunity to feel loyal and maybe making it feel like a more of a close or intimate group of shoppers or consumers that we're dealing with.
I love the special parking spot,
I
actually.
mean, some some places don't have huge budgets to like do all of this crazy programming. So, I mean, sometimes you got to get scrappy.
I love
Is
it.
it like a limited edition giveaway tote or is it like a shopper of the month parking spot?
I love it,
Yeah.
actually. Now,
Yeah, I
you
mean,
have to deal now, what I would want is I want the dealy group to deal with the ramifications if someone who's not supposed to park there does.
oh, yeah. I mean, that's always the thing, right? The operations ends of thing is always a little bit wild and Wild West, so, yeah.
Um, super interesting. I have something for you. So I think you guys do a great job, and you've brought some interesting insights. And you've mentioned like increasing traffic, and one of the ways to do that, you mentioned programming events and all these things. There are a lot of centers today where the retailer, and I call this like the difference between convenience and dwell time.
Yeah.
where the retailer, like, and they're usually smaller centers,
Mhm.
wants to be able to get you in and out and off property as fast as humanly possible
Hmm.
because she doesn't want to have to, spend a significant amount of time. Target did the thing a while ago during COVID where you could get them and they'll bring it right out to your trunk and you're off you go.
Yeah.
And there are some retailers designing stores so that you can navigate through, get your stuff and get home to your busy schedule as fast as humanly possible.
Yeah.
So here's my tough question.
Uh-huh.
If you wanted to increase traffic while decreasing dwell time, what would we do?
Increased traffic, decreased dwell time. I would look at implementing agentic shopping. Have you heard of AI agentic shopping where you basically allow AI to make um your purchase choices for you?
I have. I've all the I have one of my coworkers used it to like book personal travel and it
Oh, really?
and it didn't
Go
and
well.
he no well, he said it booked the trip, but he wasn't ready to book the trip yet. So he's been fighting with Expedia to get a refund for this hotel. And he's like, I didn't book it. ChatGPT booked it or whatever it was. I don't
Yeah,
know
yeah.
who.
No, I love that, and that I mean, that's a whole, like, what would you trust AI to book, right? Like, I would totally trust AI to, like, buy my toilet paper, but I would not trust it to book a airline flight for me. But if we're talking and I'm guessing that, like, the speed conundrum is something where you just need people to get in and out and buy their basics. They're not, like, looking for the magic experience of retail. So, I think that, like, having some sort and I'm guessing that price is no option at this point in my answer. I know that, like, to implement
Go.
agentic
Yeah.
shopping, yeah. But I would pair agentic shopping with basics, like to always like, hey, it's time for your toilet paper in 2 weeks. There's an order ready for you to go pick it up with extremely amazing operational pickup. And so I want to get a notification on my phone that my toilet paper ready and all my needs that I normally need every 2 weeks are ready at XYZ store. I roll up, I get it as quickly as possible, and I'm out. And I never have to like really do a transaction. Do you see what I'm saying? Because it's behind
Totally.
this.
Yeah.
And that would be it. I would be
Got it.
done. So, I think that would solve that problem, and I think you could drive traffic just on base of ease. Like, people would go based on ease.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about consumer behavior, I think there's this balance between dwell time and convenience,
Yeah,
right? Like the I think there's a little bit more in America than there is in Sweden, but the drive-through is and I meant the drive-through. The drive-through is obviously very important to the American consumer
yeah,
and getting in and out, right? We don't even we want to be able to not get out of our car and sometimes we need double drive-throughs and triple drive-throughs because we want to go and just get it on our way and not even get out of our car.
yeah,
There's McDonald's has you can like mobile order through the drive-through. So like you just like run right up and boom, it's there for you. So
yeah,
I think this like there's this balance in America right now of convenience and experience.
mhm.
And they're not always aligned, and I think the purpose of your shopping center should take in mind, is this a convenience-driven center, or is this a center where we're trying to increase dwell time? Because 'Cause they're not all created equally.
Yeah, no, that's a great point, and honestly, like, we do try to drive traffic, but dwell time is usually what we're going for because we're imagining at the Dealy Group people buying, like choosing a shirt or picking a candle or something like that, but you're totally right, like, there are purchases that don't need that level of anyone's time or effort.
I
So
mean, sometimes it's the nut do we want the nugget Happy Meal or the burger Happy Meal, and it takes longer than I would like for my kids to choose. Uh, but I hear your point.
Yeah. But I mean, on the other hand, do you think that if people are having their autonomy, their free will taken away from them by AI and they're already like looking to do cold plunges, which is completely insane, do you think that there will be a pendulum swing where people are like, I want to forage for my food because that is in my nature. You know what I'm saying? I want free will to go in and maybe decide to have a different kind of cereal, you know?
All right, you asked, so I'll give you my answer. So
Okay. Yeah, I want to hear it.
you asked.
Yeah.
So my takeaway from I think the ancient wellness one, I think that's super interesting.
Mm,
I don't get to the same conclusion as you.
yeah.
So my conclusion to that is less about this push pull versus AI and this free will conundrum. My takeaway from that is people are using AI to find you what they consider to be unique ways for wellness, and the wellness trend is huge.
Hmm.
I don't think it's that we're going backwards because that's our roots and we're diverging from AI. It's
Mm,
I think it's the person who's tried every diet in the world and
hmm.
they've none have worked. And now because of AI, they have a different level of access to information. They're like, oh my God, here's another one.
Yeah. Something else. They can discover it more easily. What do you think about we've been finding stats where people are more interested in print media. And we've talked about whether or not it's because, like, of the nostalgia of holding something in your hand. And I think about things like the Fearless Flyer at Trader Joe's. You
So
know,
I
the
think yeah, I do. So I think, so I go to, it wouldn't be my conclusion, but this is anecdotal. This is my opinion. I have no empirical data. You do. I would say if that's a trend,
Mhm.
which I haven't heard yet, but I'll take you for face value that print media is a trend.
Yeah.
I would say my gut would be is it's because of sensory overload and too much information. And it's like, let me take a step back. I just need to read one thing. Can I just
Yeah.
read one thing? Right? My news notification comes up, wash it from the Apple News, which is the Washington Post, the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal. It's I just need one. Can you just give me one? And maybe if I just had it sent to my house and I could wake up and go get the paper from the paper boy, that might be a little easier.
Yeah. Well, it's so funny you say that because another one of our I mean, we have 10 trends, so I could just talk on and we don't have enough time for that. But one of our trends is information overload. And it's just what you're saying. Like, we are inundated with so much information in this day and age. It's like information junk food. It's making us sick. Like, we actually have body inflammation because we're overloaded with too much information and seeing too much on a daily basis. So people are actually reacting just like you said and like trying to cut back, to streamline, to have these very like curated, I'm going to read these articles today. I'm going to follow these sources so that they can get kind of the information crap out of their diet. So that's another really interesting thing. And I do think that that's why like maybe print media is a much more is people are glomming onto it because it's digestible. We've
Maybe.
seen
Yeah.
yeah, we've seen people like wanting, Substack. People love Substack because it's long form. They can spend some time with it. YouTube videos are getting longer. People want to like just slow down and see what they want to see, not all the junk. But yeah, we could go on and on. This
We could
is
go on and on. So if to wrap this up, if we were to give everyone like the punchline to everything we've discussed, what would it be?
oh man, that's a hard one, right? I think the punchline is that AI is everyone's worried about whether it's gonna take our job, and I think that it is systemically changing the way human beings, um, operate within the world, including the retail world. So whether it is going to change the way we buy things through agentic shopping, or whether it's going to drive us back to, ancient trends or whatever it is, I feel like the whole world is about to have this huge seismic shift of behavioral changes due to AI. And I think to me that people will glom onto their free will and want to have it and control it more, but then they also want the ease of AI for doing certain tasks for themselves. And it's all going to like impact us on a retail level.
Cha-ching, nailed it. Cool. Thank you so much.
Did I
N
nail it?
You nailed it.
That was a very hard question.
It wasn't supposed to be hard, so I apologize if it was too hard. You nailed it.
All right, cool.
Well, listen, Natalie, this was great.
Yay. I'm
Uh,
glad.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no
Um,
worries.
thank you so much.
Yeah.
And this will probably go out soon.
Okay. Thank you for having us, and we love doing these things. So just call us anytime you need us.
Awesome. Super insightful. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thanks, Chris.
Bye.
Bye.
Appreciate you watching. Hit subscribe. See you in the next one.